Welcome back, viewers. We've now been joined by our guest, who's a political analyst, Obadiah Mbila. You're welcome to the studio this morning.
Thank you so very much, Ola.
Good to have you.
It's always my pleasure.
Definitely.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, it's also the segment where our phone lines are now open for you to call in and join the conversation this morning as it progresses. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you once again.
And today seems to be the day 5 of the current ongoing protests. The president addressed the nation yesterday. I'm sure you were expecting that address, especially when we got the information on Saturday that I was going to address the nation on Sunday at 7 a.m. A lot of persons even had to adjust their activities and ensure that they were available to, listen to the broadcast. But what did you make of that broadcast? Did it meet up to your expectations?
Well, one of the journalists on one of the platforms had shared a passionate post asking us not to expect much from Mr. President's speech so that we will not be disappointed. That was on Saturday around 4:30 p.m. So Mr. President came on the screen of every home in Nigeria. I would like to, first of all, admit that when he came, his body language appeared to portray him as one that having a remorseful appearance, a remorseful presence. And when I also analyzed his verbal presentation, I detected one thing, that it wasn't the forceful, eloquent president's voice that I knew about. There appears to be incoherence in his presentation. So I was wondering where that was going to lead us to.
Okay.
As I patiently wait for him to reel out all his achievement, as it were, because it appears the central message of that yesterday broadcast was to remind all of us Nigerians of the achievement he has made so far, and then gave it as a reason why those protesting for hunger and bad governance should sheath their sword. Honestly, like as I said, his courage was remorseful, his voice incoherence, and
when you say his voice incoherent, are you saying that his voice was not going in line with his body language?
Of course,
okay.
And his previous voice we know about,
okay.
Appears to have been absent, and I was taking that for granted, watching him to take action in about the demands of the people.
Yes.
But I didn't find any actionable message other than that they should go back and stop the protest. Well, like as I've repeatedly said here on I'm not one that believes that violent protest can solve any problem. I detest it as an individual because it has negative potential. Anyone that is a complainant would gradually be losing faith, confidence in himself. So I don't encourage that. However, now that it has started and it has taken this magnitude, I expected the president trying to do one or two things concerning all this demand. One of them is I have taken note of this removal of this subsidy or that subsidy.
Though he actually mentioned fuel subsidy.
just listen. I said the way I thought he should package it. The way I thought he should package it. I have heard your cry about the restoration of the oil subsidy and then, of course, the energy subsidy. I will do something about that. I would raise a committee to look into it and advise government appropriately so that we can meet the aspiration and the demand of the people. That keeps their hope hanging. He may not come back to it, just like the way he has not come back to the Alhassan report. So, but at least he will succeed in dousing the tension and pacifying the protesters. So, in the absence of direct address to their demand, you are only saying your demand is illegitimate. Therefore, I have given you enough. That's not the way to respond to pressing agitators. The way they should put down their shit back their sword. So for me, reading through the social media and the pages of newspaper thereafter, and then of course taking into account the continuation of the protests in places like Plateau and Lagos, Niger State, people coming together, Muslims and Christians coming together. Last Friday it was Christians shielding Muslim. Last Sunday it was the Muslim shielding Christians. I'm excited about that breaking of boundaries. At least it has reminded us again that the so-called religious differences is just an artificial thing. It's a political thing created by those who profit from them. So if you leave the people, they will live together. If you leave the people, they will be their brothers' keepers. That's the very strong message I believe this protest have passed to us. So our leaders should please leave us to live as brothers and sisters. They should remove all the religious toga. Those who believe that using Muslim ticket was going to place the Muslim in a very great advantage. Today, they have seen that it's not taking us anywhere.
Absolutely.
So let's do away with religious, ethnic things. Let the human being that are Nigerians be.
All right. Let's quickly take a few reactions from some of those in the front line of the protest. Now, the human rights lawyer Femi Falana says, if the government takes the fight against corruption to oil dealers, I want to get your opinion on this, and that's why I'm reading it out to you. If the government takes the fight against corruption to oil dealers and crude oil is processed in government-owned refineries, there will be no basis for fuel subsidy, which is induced by the importation of petroleum products. A positive response to the key demand of the youth to review the protesters, to review the demands of the youth, to review the protesters could make them review their actions. Insensitivity to their demands can only provoke continued action. That's coming from human rights lawyer Femi Falana. And then Atiku says, the address lacks credibility and fails to offer any immediate tangible solutions to the Nigerian people. Given the extensive publicity surrounding the protest and the threats issued by government officials against demonstrators, one would have expected President Tinubu to present groundbreaking reforms, particularly those aimed at reducing the exorbitant cost of governance. That's his own opinion. And Nobel laureate also said something around, he said the nation's security agencies cannot pretend unawareness of alternative models for emulation civilized advances in security intervention. The time is long overdue, surely, to abandon permanently the anachronistic resort to lethal means by the security agencies of governance. Now, there's been lots of conversation. Nobel laureate is actually condemning the way the police actually handled the protests, or let's call them our uniform personnel, because it wasn't just the police that were on the road. So he's condemning the way they handled the protest. Atiku is talking about the cost of governance, and then Femi Falana is also looking at the issue of subsidy and the reason why maybe the cost of importation and all of that have actually, given rise to the payment of subsidies. Now, let's get your thoughts on these three issues that these people handled that they said the president did not talk about, which is part of the agitations of the protesters.
Yeah, if you had taken note of my opening commentary, I did allude to the fact that the president did not confront the real reason the people were agitating. And that's what Femi Falana is also saying in a different language. The point is, the people are demanding, a very hard demand, of course, that the oil subsidy and the energy subsidy should return. And if the president has said, yes, I know that this is what you demand, and I am going to set up a committee to look into it. But in the meantime, we have put a turnaround maintenance that would ensure that by September, by October, fuel will flood everywhere in Nigeria. And this is what we are doing, ABCD, to make it available. Instead, he was talking about their feat in procuring a CNG compliant vehicles and so on and so forth. This is what the president's handlers missed. The mind of human beings are always going towards what they are familiar with, not what they are not familiar with.
Absolutely.
Meaning, if you are talking about CNG that Nigerians do not know about, it will take you many years to let them know that it is a better alternative.
Especially in a nation where there are always fears to embrace something new. Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from
All right, please join the conversation, Mr. Collins.
Please, I want to emphasize on the issue of the broadcast from the president.
Okay.
Let's just be realistic to each other now. The protests, there are issues that pronounce for the president. And if you look at the broadcast, nothing was pronounced. If I were one of the advisors, one thing is this. Now they are talking of hunger, electricity, tariff, fuel, and so many other things. Now the food stuff, the rice they are talking about now, the rice that came, I happens to see that this rice are being sold to all these government workers, which I happen to know that in due time they will begin to use it as their own business something again. If I were the president, one thing I have to do is this.
Okay.
Instantly you bring down the fuel price, which is the cost of all this problem.
Okay.
Now looking at the tariff, let me tell you something now concerning more especially in my place here.
All right, so we need you to be fast about it so we can give other people the chance.
In my family house, we have just 3 rooms.
Okay.
Do you know how much they brought every month? 25,000, 3 rooms. No fridge, no AC. And they are bringing 25,000 a month. They cut this lights since April. As I'm talking to you now, this month they have brought 25,000 again, accumulating for who to pay. Some of those issues should be addressed, more especially of the security aspect. Now in my place, some places you cannot even go to farm. The food basket of the nation. We are buying a tin of rice now at the rate of 30-something thousand. And that 50 kg is around 70-something thousand.
All right.
So how do you think that people will stay quiet? The hunger protest is something that everybody in the entire world, they are saying that Nigeria is hungry. And a hungry man is an angry man.
All
there
right,
is nothing they can do about it.
Thank you very much. Let's quickly give other people the chance.
Instantly.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling
I'm
from.
calling from Lagos.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Mbila. Yeah. This presidential broadcast, it did not put any food on our table. What they are protesting for now, what the youth are protesting for, is not being addressed. No, you put the fried rice and the food chicken on the table.
We need you to turn down the volume of your TV set instead of listening to yourself and talking to us.
Your children, they are hungry. Your children are hungry. And you tell them to start getting Gary. And you tell them don't worry, it will be okay to do it. When they saw you eating a fried rice, you are not saying you are dialoguing. Who are you dialoguing with? The youth are angry. Look at the policy of the Central Bank. Look at the dormant account in the East Bank should be reformed. What about those people that have accounts in the bank and they are improving? When they come back now to assess they are going in the Central Bank, it will be difficult. They will go into crime. See, all these people that we play in so many places to manage the country, they are not the right people. They are not right enough.
All right.
So many policies that is being brought up by the Central Bank, it's not helping the youth. So many things is going on in this country. Look at what they are saying. Look at what brings the youth together. The case of football.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your point is well noted. Let's give other people a chance to say something. All right. Thank you so much. Let's give other people a chance. Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello. Good morning, man. Good morning, man. Good morning, man.
Good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please turn down the volume of your TV set so you can hear us properly, so we can have a smooth communication.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good job. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm calling for Kaduna. I'm Mr. Ibrahim, precisely.
All right, Mr. Ibrahim, please go ahead.
Yes.
How's the protest in Kaduna State this morning?
The president's speech actually holds no water. In the sense that he was there as a former stakeholder for APC party, and he saw the rot that happened during 8 years tenure. And now he came. Sometimes I want to be very careful what I choose. I think, in my own opinion, I think that man is on drugs. He came on board and he said, fuel subsidy is gone, categorically, with all authoritativeness, without any consultation, without any plan, adequate plan. And he knows the repercussion of that fuel subsidy removal. Jonathan tried it and he reversed, and everybody knows he reversed the whole thing. This man came, fuel subsidy gone, and so many things went wrong in this country. He had been there, he said Nigeria should be patient, Nigeria should give him more time. Even coming out to address him, didn't even touch that issue. So, in my own opinion, it's like he has no clue. He has no idea. Maybe sometimes ago he was convicted as drug addict. We don't know whether he's using the influence of drug to
you need to be very careful of your choice of words.
Sorry. I'm not calling names. Sorry, I'm not calling names. But the point remains is that this man has no interest of these masses. In fact, they were demanding end bad governance, and up to now he has not even mentioned anything concerning bad governance. Hard cost of living is killing Nigeria. People are hungry. The other time somebody said that he's not coming to come and take the Nigeria's money, that he has his own money already. But is he had to root the country? Is it by SUV for all the senators?
All right.
Then making people to suffer.
Thank you very much.
He say he knows happen, he feels happy, he does not feel. Because these people who are there at the top, they don't even feel. It's our national cake money they are using. They don't suffer for it. What is 70,000? Let's for crying out loud. What is 70,000? When even a bag of rice is more than 70,000. What are we talking about? There's no anything, no adequate plan, nothing put in place to rule this country, to even deliver this country out of this poverty level that we are. It's only the national cake is meant for a crew of people, for cabals.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
If nobody can dictate for him, let's face the reality.
All right, thank you very much.
People were talking, and everything people said before now, that was what he read out. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for your contributions. if we leave the phone line continuously open, we're definitely not going to have any conversation today. Now, part of what the people are saying is everybody's saying, most of the callers have said the president's conversation holds no water, the podcast. Now, on paragraph 31, the president said, "My dear Nigerians, especially our youth, I have heard you loud and clear. I understand the pain and frustration that drive this protest, and I want to assure you that our government is committed to listening and addressing the concerns of our citizens. But we must not let violence and destruction tear our nation apart. We must work together to build a brighter future where every Nigerian can live with dignity and prosperity." Now, you also called for an open dialogue. Do you think this would go anywhere? Do you see an achievement? Maybe he's decided to call for an open dialogue, and that's why he hasn't mentioned the concerns, because he believes those are the things that should come to the table. What's your take on that call for an open dialogue?
Well, the need for dialogue, for me, is long overdue. It's true that he wanted to identify the leaders of the protests, and not much response was received, meaning those that were leading the protests were not known faces. So in that circumstance, it will be difficult to have dialogue with faceless individual. And now again, the president is calling for dialogue. The question still remains, have the presidency succeeded in identifying the leaders with whom they are going to interface with? For me, it would have started with by saying, I now invite the leaders to meet with so-and-so committee that have set up. The truth about this matter is that there is nothing that can assuage the protesters like good and kind word, and then actionable steps that shows that our president is truly listening to us. You said in one verse, "I have heard you loud and clear." And then in another verse, you are reeling out your achievement, beating your chest as one that has done much. And this your achievement has no direct relevance to the demand that has brought about this problem. So for me, the president, like Falana have rightly said, was making his address irrelevant to the need of the people. If they had centered around issues of petroleum, why it is like this, and what we are going to do in the days to come to make sure that the hardship is adequately addressed, the people will run back home rejoicing and now go back in hope. Of course, this is a renewed hope. Since the first hope has been dashed, they will go back renewing the hope. And there is no end to renewed hope, so long as you are carrying them along. But if you pretend as if you do not mean to carry them along, it will have a reprisal effect. They will continue to murmur, to complain, to protest. Even if you succeed in stiffening the opposition or the protests without addressing the matter, you are postponing evil days. It means that it will come out again in a different form, which means nothing has been achieved. Now, it will even be more dangerous if these people retreat and then transform into a different violent type of protest, which is most likely. And I had always said it is very dangerous to allow protests take place in certain areas, especially the northern part of this country, where we have a very large chunk of young men who are not educated, who have never seen school in their life, and those of them that have seen school would have been just Arabic education, which often does not translate to any skill, any verifiable or known skill. So at the slightest provocation, they take to the street, and one of their aim is not to demonstrate their grievances to the government or air out their view to government. One of their aim is to loot, is to steal. They come in the guise of protesters to destroy both public and private assets. Is that what we want for Nigeria? So why would you even allow the protest to be in the first place? And look at what happened in Kano, where a whole large crowd of young men were carrying the flag of another sovereign entity, not your own flag. And we look at it, we don't even know the implication of that. What that is telling us is that the foreigners have infiltrated our population in the north, especially in Kano. And when it started happening in 2019, when we had two different governors from Niger coming to campaign for Buhari in Kano, we looked the other way. The security agencies did not see the danger that was being announced when the governor from Madi and the other one, a different province altogether, they came into our country and began to meddle in our internal affairs, wearing APC campaign dresses, under the watch of the present national chairman of APC, Abdullahi Ganduje. He was the governor, which means he knew that he has a relationship that is not purely a diplomatic one as such, or a certified diplomatic relationship between two countries. It was Kano State having a relationship with Governor of Madi and the other one. And the security agencies did not see the dangers that was embedded in that action. And look at it. It has snowballed into a different thing. The presence of Russia is in Niger. And the people in Kano are saying, we want the presence of Russia also in Nigeria. How are we going to treat that? It simply means they have accepted the sovereignty of a different countries under the sovereignty of their own country, Nigeria. And we don't even dictate the danger that is creeping in gradually. Over hundreds of Russian flag was flying through the streets of Kano in Nigeria. Who provided this flag? How come that within a short period of time we had that large number of Russian flag flying in our own space?
You know, over the weekend there was also a cloned page for IBB claiming that IBB endorsed military rule in Nigeria. He had to come out and refute that particular claim.
That wasn't what IBB said.
Association with
no, that wasn't what IBB said. There was a statement credited to him that said that the military were doing far better than what is happening in the and that's very, very true. They were very precise in the pursuit of their programs. They were raising infrastructural facilities here and there. In fact, they were very mindful about provision of infrastructural facilities than so-called Democrats. The Democrats have truly disappointed me as an individual, because the president himself is a known pro-democracy activist. How come that under his own watch we are receding instead of advancing?
Now, for Senator Shehu Sani, he's saying that after the president's speech, the protesters should suspend their protest and raise a team to dialogue with the government at the federal and state levels. They can negotiate on their demand. That's how democracy works. But on social media, he's been slammed a lot. They said for someone who fought for democracy, if this is his definition of democracy or how democracy works, then there is truly no democracy.
Yeah, I think that's what Professor Welo Soyinka was alluding to. He was not, in my opinion, addressing the lapses in the president's speech. He was rather talking about his observations, how the security agencies handle the protesters. But I also take exemption of his position. Now, when violence erupts, two things happen. You allow civility to prevail, and at a certain stage, the protesters become very hungry, and the next thing that comes to their mind is, what can I lay hand on to feed? And that's what leads to the looting of shops and so on and so forth. So there is no civility for as far as I'm concerned in protesting. There is no known rule of engagement. Even the most well-organized protests we have recorded in the history of this world, the Reverend Martin Luther King's led protests, you still discover that some splinter groups were not comfortable with non-violent movement. They decided to be violent. So you see, it's a mixed crowd, those with ulterior motive and those with clear-cut intention to make sure that they speak to the power and they are heard.
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the press. Great, Chief Arrow. Please join the conversation.
My name is Chief Arrow.
Please go ahead, Chief Arrow.
Yeah. About the protest. You see, Tinubu's speech, in my own opinion, was just like converting noise to music, or better still, it was just a press statement. He did not address the core issue. Now, if he had addressed the core issue, Nigerians by now would have been clapping for him. If he's saying that by the time he came on board, that the subsidy has been withdrawn, and he should have read what I call supplementary budget to cure that to bring back subsidy. But by virtue of what he did now, it is going to cause another problem to this country. These children will still go back to the road. And what I want
you have just a minute.
people to know is that what I want people to know to see is that the sovereignty belongs to the people.
Right.
And if they say they don't want subsidy back or the price of the fuel to be reduced, anything outside that is just like converting noise to music.
Right.
You see, they should be able to understand the people. The only problem with Tinubu is that our leaders, they feel that by the time they go to 2027, they know how to read. If really they know that our vote comes, he will try as much as possible to put things on the front footing.
Right.
But today, we know that they don't have respect for us because they know that our vote will not be counted.
Right,
and if he had, look at what happened in Britain. The Prime Minister went on the road. Immediately he was addressing his people. It took Bola Tinubu how many days? I don't know whether they were begging him to come and talk to Nigeria. It is rather unfortunate. Today they are even raising flags in Kano. That's why it's to tell you what is actually happening. And it is not good for our democracy. So if he is going to that level, I don't think we can actually get it right.
All right, thank you very much, Farrell.
It has put the federal government on their toes. Today, they have put them on their toes.
All right, Chifaro, let's give room to other people. Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Chifaro. Let's quickly give other people a chance. Our time is fast spent. Hello, good morning.
What is happening to you?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the press. Please, you have just 60 seconds.
I'm Mr. Abu from Niger State.
Okay, please join the conversation, Mr. Abu.
My contribution is this.
President Tinubu is only joking with the youth.
Okay.
Because he came up on May 29, 2023, boldly and said something is gone. That December that year, the refinery will be placed. Today we are in August.
All right, thank you.
He did not mention anything about refinery again. Number two, he only came out and to tell us that how much is giving governors and how much achievement, which achievement has been done that we came out for protest. If he has done what he has said now, how will it just like my young man by the side say that all this engine that he's talking, none of us have ever seen it.
All right.
It's only the men. They all this is load of rights. They don't go to the grassroots. They go to the governors and commissioners and chairmen and all these things. And nothing goes to the grassroots.
All right.
What is this saying?
Thank you.
If it cannot capable of holding and make it resign.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. A lot has been said, actually. And I wanted to draw your attention to the conversation that the Minister of Agriculture actually had recently in an interview. He said the reason why, he said they take, because part of the agitations for this protest is the hunger protest. There is no food in the land. And he says, okay, his ministry takes, the blame for all of this. But part of what he complained about is the fact that in the last 15 years, we have dropped in production capacity. And he talked about the population increase yearly. And also, the generation that has been farming are already retiring. We do not have a generation that is so interested in farming, which causes a lot of more problems. There's also the conversation around the agri value chain. If we're the largest producers of rice, are we processing it? Are we getting everything all right? That we do not need external bodies to do some of these things. And we're even short of our productions. We're short of our consumption. If, for instance, we're consuming 9.5 million tons yearly, we produce less than that. These are some of the conversations that he raised that is leading to this. What's your take on this? I think I had a few conversations with some persons and they were like, is the farm even secure for youth to go there to farm?
That's where we should begin this conversation. It's not about whether we are producing or not. We know we are no longer producing. And 50% of the reason behind this non-production is because it's no longer safe to go to the farm. And no matter the type of English you want to use in communicating what the Ministry of Agriculture is doing, the truth remains that the larger chunk of producing communities are under siege. They can't move to the farms. That's one. Two, we usually have a generation that is very active in handling manual labors like farming demands. Now we are being capped with Gen Z, that all that they want to look at is what is happening in the social media. They are interested in the tech and so on and so forth. So a good government, a very responsive government, would have taken into account what the effect and the impact of this insecurity on production, and then seek for alternative way of mitigating the impact. So also the realization of the fact that the farming energy that is usually captured between the age of so and so will not be there for us. So what do? Do we go using robotics? And if that is what we are going to do, how long will it take us to raise the robotics that are required to handle our farming implements and so on and so forth? And in view of the fact that those that are willing to farm cannot go because of insecurity, what need to be put in place so that people who are willing to farm can easily farm? Of course, we have some secured areas that can't farm. Why is it that we don't lay emphasis on providing those free lands, bringing those that are from areas where insecurity cannot allow them to go farm.
Absolutely.
Using that manpower in the areas that are secured so that they can farm more. My problem with government, not just Tinubu administration, though Tinubu administration have elevated the incompetence, lack of planning to a height that is terrifying. My idea should have been that, look, when the birds learn to fly without perching, government should be proactive enough to know how to fly without perching.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you for your time today. Good morning. Thank you once again.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
All right, viewers, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. We've been talking with Obadiah Mbila, who's the chairman, LOvewalk Media. We really appreciate you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, that's what draw the curtains on today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We really appreciate you. See you again later. I am Olamide Alhassan. Bye for now.